Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellen Rain, either or you can call me. I'm totally fine with that. This channel I use to kind of document my life, talk about different things I have going on. Sometimes I do vlogs, sometimes I do art videos, sometimes I do just story times, different things that have happened to me depending on my experiences. When I first started this channel, I was just like answering goth questions in relation to my experience being a black goth alternative person, but I feel like I already covered a lot of that content on my blog. If there is anything I can talk about that hasn't already been said, but yeah, that's me. That's what my channel is all about. If you like my content, if you have found me through my short videos that I post that are just like my reposted TikToks, and this is your first video seeing me, talking to you guys, hello, welcome. If you guys have been following me for a while, thank you guys so much for continuing to follow me on this journey in my channel. This video is kind of bittersweet. I just wanted to make it before I start treatment. So I was recently diagnosed with breast cancer and I started chemo next week. I wanted to just kind of make a video that's like a hey where I've been, kind of like a PSA cancer awareness video to my audience. You know, here's a reminder to do your monthly breast exam. If you don't know how to do monthly breast exams, I'll try and include links below. But you're supposed to do one standing up in the shower and then one laying down once a month, either the week before your period or after, depending on how your ovulation is and everything. And if you feel a spot that's firm, like you press it, it's hard, it's not moving, then you should contact your doctor and ask them to get you in for a mammogram and get tested. So yeah, I just want to make this video kind of share my experiences with my diagnosis and treatment so far and everything. So first of all, when I first felt the lump, it was like towards the end of last year, and I tried reaching out for help and calling all these organizations that offer mammograms and cancer testing for women in my state, and a lot of people were telling me I'm too young, it's probably just a cyst, it'll go away. A lot of people were telling me, oh, you're young, it's normal to have lumpy boobs, oh, you're probably just on your period, oh, we're only seeing patients that are 40, we're only seeing patients that are 35, like you're too young for that. And I tried telling them my family history, like, hey, my parents died from cancer, my mom had breast cancer, and my grandma, her mom had breast cancer, 2 of my mom's siblings had it, my sister had it, like, can I get a mammogram at least? And like, people were just dismissing me, so it was hard just to get in the door. But I finally found somebody to listen to me, and I was working with this charity called Equal Hope, and I have a person that is helping me to get to all my doctor's appointments and schedule treatments and exams, and like was really helping me, establish a care team and get my foot in the door and get approved for Medicaid and connect me to resources to help me out a lot. So, and I'm grateful for that. And I know if I lived in a different state, then I would not have gotten the treatment that I have today. So, yeah. I started testing in April. It is now the end of July. My initial test was supposed to be in March, but I missed the appointment and they scheduled it out a month later. When I first started testing, I thought that I could just go in for a mammogram. They would find what they need to find, start me on treatment right away if they find something, and just go from there. But it's so much more complicated than that. So my first appointment was in April. I got a mammogram, and then I had to get a biopsy. Biopsies are these procedures where they use an ultrasound so I got a mammogram and then I got an ultrasound, and then once they saw what they needed to see in the images, they had me come back for a biopsy. And a biopsy is a procedure where they use the ultrasound to find everything, and then they numb you up. It's localized anesthetic, so they numb you up on the site, on the boob where they want you, where they're concerned about a particular area, and then they extract about 4 or 5 samples, and then they insert these clips into those areas, and then you have to get another mammogram, and the mammogram has to find those clips that the doctor put in. And if you have multiple sites, they're going to do it on each and every site. So I had my initial biopsy a few months ago, like April, May, and then after that initial biopsy is when I got my diagnosis to confirm that it was indeed breast cancer. And then I got the genetic test to confirm that I had the BRCA gene, and I have a BRCA gene, it's same as my family, so that was not too surprising. Yeah, and then they found some cysts in other areas, so I had to go and get another biopsy, and another mammogram, and then another biopsy. And that biopsy was for 3 different sites instead of 2. One was in my left, where the tumors are, and then 2 were in my right where there are no tumors. And then there was another site that they wanted to look at, and I got an MRI biopsy for that one. At first, my doctor's appointments were like a month apart, and then they were like a few weeks apart. And for the last month, like since mid-June, I've spent more time in the hospital than I have at work. So yeah, I've either like been in the hospital or recovering from being in the hospital for one thing or another. And I kept getting delayed for treatment because they kept telling me that they found this and they found that, and you need to get tested for this, and you need to test for that, and have to wait for this result, and have to wait for that result. But yeah, finally I get to start chemo next week, and the process is going to be about 6 months. I'm going to be doing it like once a week, and then there's a surgery. I still haven't decided what I wanted to do surgery-wise. Initially, I just wanted to get a lumpectomy, which means that they're just going to take out the tumors that are remaining after chemo once they're shrunken down and everything. But if I choose that option, then the tumors are 4 times likely to come back and be stronger and move to other parts of my body that are harder to test for, like my lungs or my liver or my pancreas or, something else like that. And then I would have to get mammograms every 6 months. I hate mammograms and I hate biopsies so much. Doctors are recommending that I get a double mastectomy, and that was like the last thing that I wanted to do, because it's like, it's bad enough I have to go through cancer, I have to like chop off my tits too. What the fuck? I don't want to do that. So I've been looking into options for breast reconstruction surgery. I'm concerned about breast implants and breast implant illness. I'm also concerned about fat transfer and whether or not I have enough fat on my body to make that option viable. And I'm also concerned about the risk involved in that surgery. So there's that. I'm not sure if I can get a partial mastectomy where they can just remove the left one, since that's one that's giving me issues, and then just remove my lymph nodes from my left and right side, as well as a hysterectomy, and to remove my ovaries. Because if you have the BRCA gene, it makes it so that you're more likely to not only get breast cancer, but you're also more likely to get ovarian cancer and other issues that can affect your uterus. And pancreatic cancer and liver cancer are also risk as well. They're low, but they're still risk. So, yeah, it's been a lot. At first, I had to I'm trying to unlearn this guilt that kind of capitalism puts on you to feel guilty when you're sick or feel guilty when you have to take off work. And I've just been learning to not feel bad when I can't go into work because I had medical procedures done that restrict my mobility, because I have a doctor's appointment. Sometimes it could be last minute, like one of my nurses could call me right now and say, hey, we need to come in. We need you to come in tomorrow for this. The doctor is really concerned about this area. And I have to call my employers and tell them, like, sorry, I can't come in. Which, I understand how that's difficult for them from a business perspective. But as for me and my health and well-being, my concern is on doing everything that I can to get through this as best as possible and as smooth as possible, and not have it impede my life in such a negative way. Like, I don't want to be all woe is me. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to feel like I'm giving up on life. I still want to do the things that I enjoy doing. I still want to make videos. I still want to do makeup. I still want to wear cute clothes. I've been wearing full faces of makeup to all my oncology appointments. Like, I've been showing up in Galaxy makeup. I wore like basic eyeliner and eyeshadow today, but like I've been wearing Galaxy makeup, bubbles, like different stripes, all kinds of cut creases, glitters, just the whole thing. Cause I just feel like I just want to. That just helps me set a good tone for the day and have good vibes and everything. So yeah. I wish the process was as easy as I thought it was going to be, but it just keeps getting more and more complicated. Initially, when I was getting treated, or when I was getting tested, I went to one hospital. They're both the same hospital, but they're in different locations. So the first location I went to, that doctor said that she was just going to refer me to oncology to get the surgery because she wanted me to just have the tumors removed and be done with it. But when I met with oncology, they told me, well, actually we want you to do chemo before we do surgery, and we are highly recommending that you consider getting a double mastectomy and lymph nodes removed, and asked me if I wanted to have kids, and I kept saying no, and they were like, you're sure? And I'm like, yes. It's like, oh, really? We can, well, like, your chemo is going to affect your ability to have kids. It'll be very dangerous for you to get pregnant at this time. If you want, we can refer you to like a reproductive center and they can help you freeze your eggs. And I'm just like, no, I don't want kids. I never wanted kids. I will never want kids. Are you sure? What does your boyfriend think about that? What does your husband think about that? Are you planning on getting married? Lady, I don't want kids. Okay, I don't want them. Like, I'm so serious. Well, every time we ask you this question, you're always just so sure. Because I am. I don't want kids. Like, I have been teen fuck, and I cannot begin to stress this enough. Them kids for, I don't even know how long. Like, I've never wanted to be pregnant. I never wanted to have a kid. I don't want it. So, yeah. They finally believed me. It was like, okay, well, just be careful. You can't take birth control. And I was like, yeah, I don't need. Anyways, I started taking my birth control when I found this lump in my chest, and I'm never going to take birth control ever again in my freaking life. The only reason why I took birth control, I've been so reluctant to take it forever. Only reason why I took birth control is because my periods are terrible, and this doctor on like a app, like Pulse app or whatever, recommended that I take birth control to help me with my PMS symptoms. And she said that she thinks I have like endometriosis or something because of all the nausea and everything. That's just not normal. So I was taking it to help with those symptoms. But yeah, I'm never taking birth control again in my damn life. I'm just gonna stick to using condoms. Anyways, yeah, it's not an easy process to go through testing wise, let alone treatment. Luckily, I was able to get a chemo port. That's what this band-aid is hiding. I had my port access yesterday and they put a band-aid on. But yeah, this little button right here is my port. That's what I use to get all my blood tests, all my infusions, anytime I need to get an MRI or bone scan, anytime I need to do something that requires IV is accessed through my ports. So it makes things easier for me because I hate blood tests. I hate IVs. The first time I got it at the hospital, it wasn't so bad. I think like the nurses just knew what the fuck they were doing. But the last round of nurses, they fucked up my veins. And they wanted to keep trying again. I'm just like, no. Like, you're gonna have to wait until after I get my port access. And then when I got my port access, those nurses were on some bullshit too. Somebody called me on the phone and told me, oh, don't take any pain medications, don't wear any lotions or treatments or whatever. Don't take any anti-anxiety meds, you know, like, you'll be fine, we're gonna give you pain medication. And everything will be there for you. So I get there and I ask for numbing cream. They're like, we don't have numbing cream. Bitch, what the fuck? Why do you not have numbing cream? Oh, it's just a little needle. That's what the fuck the numbing cream is for. It is not just a little needle, because you guys don't know what the fuck you're doing. You have 4 nurses come in here, you have the little light machine to see my veins, and you still don't know what you're doing. You're not about to keep inserting these things in my arm time and time and time again and mess up both of my hands. And you still can't get it right. Oh, your veins are hard. Or, oh, your arm is probably hurting because of the trauma. It's probably because you have trauma in your past. Yeah, because people like you. And you just re-traumatized me. After you told me not to take any pain meds or anti-anxiety pills. What the fuck? So yeah, lots of needles, lots of pokes and prods. There were just lots of different things going on that I just didn't like. But I'm finally going to be starting my chemo treatment. Yeah. I've been looking into some work from home options because I'm a dental assistant and my immune system is fragile right now. As a dental assistant, I'm exposing myself to a multitude of different viruses, different diseases, different conditions. It's not just COVID and all of the variants. It's just a lot going on. And like they told me, like, oh, you should try and stay away from people that are sick. You should try and stay away from people who are like, you try and stay away from like high risk environments where, you know, people are gonna be coughing and sneezing and, you know, you're exposing yourself to bodily fluids or whatever. And I just told them like, hey, I'm a dental assistant. And they're like, maybe you should consider going back to school or like get into another field because this isn't, you know, the healthiest thing for you right now. Yeah, I've been trying to get paperwork processed to help me go on disability for the time period that I am going to be going through chemo, and then there's radiation after chemo and after surgery, because I have not really been able to work that much lately. And my paychecks have been slashed in half because of it. And now they're like a quarter, a third of what they used to be and really aren't worth it. I just don't want to work for 2 weeks if I'm only going to be at a place for like a day and a half here, 2 half days there, 1 day here, 1 day there. And then my paychecks are only like a couple $100 every few weeks and barely enough for me to actually survive. Yeah, I was looking into some continuing education courses for my field so that I can get paid extra, but it would only be like an extra $1 per hour that I would get paid, and those classes cost hundreds of dollars. It's like $300 here, $200 there, $400 here, $800 there, and it adds up to over $1,000 just to get paid like maybe $1 or $2 an hour more than I already get paid. And with the hours I have now, it just really wouldn't be worth it. So I decided to start taking classes with Google and do the Google Data Analytics program and, you know, see how that works for me. I just started like the second half of it. It's like 8 parts. You can do it in like 6 months. Some people do it faster, some people do it slower. I'm just doing it at my own pace. Someone earlier today told me about medical billing. It's something I can get into and work from home. There's a huge demand for it, and I'm just like, I'll look into that, but I'm not sure about like staring at numbers on the screen all day. That sounds like something that would give me a headache and drive me nuts. But, you know, I'll look into it. It's an option. it's something better than nothing. I don't want to quit my job because I don't have anything else lined up, and it doesn't make sense to apply somewhere else because I'm still not going to be able to work the hours that I need to work in order to make it worth it for me. And I'm still not going to be like strong enough to meet the demands of said job because of my diagnosis and everything, and having lots of doctor's appointments is kind of impeded my way of doing freelance work on the side. So I'm no longer doing like any brand ambassador work like I was towards the end of last year to help supplement my income when I was having issues with my main job. I just feel like because I have to cancel so much last minute, it's easier for like employers at my job to be understanding than it is for a company that just hires for freelance stuff. See you canceling a lot or showing up late a lot, canceling last minute a lot, then they just see you as being flimsy and unreliable, and they don't really care about whatever condition that you have going on. They're just going to start booking other people and kind of flag you. So even after I get better and I decide to try and get back into the field again, it's gonna, like impact me because I'm gonna be like blacklisted or whatever. And I've had some negative experiences with some of the brand ambassador companies that I've worked with back to back to back, and I cannot afford to get burned again. I got burned by like 3 different companies in 3 different ways. The first company is a company that sells Jello shots. It's a whole mess. They owe me about $300 for a series of different gigs I did last year and refused to pay me. First, they ghosted me. I went over their head and contacted the website that they put their ads on, and then they reached out and, getting me to run around, and then ghosted again. So I contacted the company that hired them to hire me to promote for their brand. And all that company did was send a screenshot of my email to that brand, and then the brand got back to me like, why are you trying to go over my head? I thought we were cool. And I'm like, you still haven't paid me. Like, literally. They will send me multiple texts, multiple emails, multiple Facebook posts, very long-winded, very tedious reading assignments that I'm just not even going to go through before paying me my actual money. I'm sure that took more labor than actually sending me the money that you owe me. But that's okay, Tinsley and Eric. I don't have the time or energy to go after you because I'm sick, and stress just makes my tumors hurt. So I'm just not even gonna get into that in too much details. Another company I work for is a company that is like a grocery delivery service specifically for luxury apartments. One time I got caught in a snow blizzard and was stranded at my main job and could not get to the place that they sent me to. And by the time I was almost to that place, they were like, oh, sorry, that's the wrong address. And I had to turn around and go back. It was still a blizzard, so I was late as fuck. And then the next time I was working there, I got stuck in traffic on the bus or whatever. And the person that was like the team manager told the company, hey, take her off for the rest of the week, like we don't want her. So I was like, okay, well fuck you guys and bye. And then not even like a week later, they're like, hey, somebody called in sick or somebody canceled. We really need people. Can you fill in, please? I left them on red. And then another company that I was working for, they sell, they were having me selling canned mixed drinks in Whole Foods, and they were just acting really sketchy. They were supposed to pay me like a month ago, and they didn't. I kept reaching out, just basically being a pain in the ass until they finally paid me. And then they did, like a few days ago. But it's the fact that I had to hound them for that payment instead of it being an automatic, like every 2 weeks I get paid. Like they were just acting all types of brand new. So I'm not doing any freelance gigs right now at the moment. I will be doing a shop update tomorrow. Today is the 28th. It's a Thursday. I'll be doing a shop update tomorrow, the 29th, to kind of like show you guys some of my stickers that I currently have on me. and I'm currently working on some new art projects so that I can update my skills and update the art in my shop even more and offer more paintings, more stickers, more prints, and everything else. I'm thinking like one of the people that I talked to today, like a therapist, she recommended that I start a GoFundMe, but I'm very reluctant to do that because people on GoFundMe, when they ask for help, they're asking to help for like funeral expenses, hospital expenses. Hey, can you help me with my mortgage because my mom is in the hospital? Like, these people are in dire need, and I don't know. I just feel like my thing isn't as important as their things, even though I'm having like the same problem. Like, I have cancer, I can't work full time, and my income is greatly shortened, and I do need help paying my half of the rent and my utilities and getting money together so that I can move because my ex broke up with me. So yeah, I do want to at some point start like a Patreon and figure out the whole reward system and exclusive content and how we're gonna work around that with my health condition, and try and figure out if that's something I can realistically commit to in the state that I'm in. So let me know what you guys' suggestions are below. Please do not send me messages that are like, I'm so sorry you have cancer. My auntie had cancer and she died last year. That does not help me at all. Please do not send me messages like, I don't know, like, hey, you should try essential oils. Or have you tried going to Honduras and trying Dr. Sebi's diet or whatever? Have you tried this vitamin? Have you tried that vitamin? Have you tried weed? Have you tried cannabis? Like, please do not send me any type of weird, holistic, pseudoscience crap. Like, if you just want to say, like, if you want to send like genuine like love and condolences, great, but like please don't send me like hey, have you tried oregano oil? Oregano oil will totally cure cancer. Like, don't send me no crazy stuff like that, because depending on the day, you just might get cussed out, and I'm sorry in advance. But thank you guys so much for watching. Do your monthly breast exams, especially if you're a woman, especially if you're somebody who has breast cancer running in their family and everything. So